Your thoughts on the map select?
I think it's good for either team, honestly. Mitch, historically, this year has done a pretty good job of playing against Fly as IGLing. Now, keep in mind, Mitch was on Oxygen at the time, but it will be Mata that is going to start off on Oxy, the head-to-head.
Yeah, we've kicked this bad boy off. We've already got one down. You mentioned Oxy, the Yoru, no longer around for the rest of this round. As MXS is a heavy lean towards A, there's not a lot of short presence. The flash down B long should confirm and instantly call for the rotations. And of course, Mitch is hot to trot.
Yeah, after contacting into hookah, we're just going to walk up short. Two players stuck in showers, and they're just going to hunker down. But it's going to be Zeppa who's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here for his squad.
They might try to scale all the way back. They use the dog to get into pipes. They know that Mitch is there. Meanwhile, Zeppa, as you mentioned, on the prowl, spotting three, only able to get one. Odorous on the swing. Mitch will fall as well. Numbers the way of the attack in a pretty big way, and it's not getting any better. First round goes the way of Voice X Shopify.
And Mata, he's so hot already. I was in the back watching him warm up, and he was robotic, man. And we're already seeing it first round in, getting close to that showstopper, and he's opting to buy a Vandal already. That's the type of time he's on, demon time.
Yeah, that's not a bad start, man. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah. It was a good try from Cloud9, just hunkering down, but the proactivity from MXS on the actual site itself, not even planning the spike, looking for those fights, and the triple swing on a Zeppa, he couldn't get much work done after that.
It's just more fun to play the game that way. It seems like the fun is going to continue for the attack. Not really much to fight back with there for Cloud9, as they just get obliterated down B long, leaving Vic all to his lonesome.
Yeah, and it looks like he was kind of aware that there might be a lurk. He was trying to hunt Odorous, but with the 4-man TP, what can he really do here with a classic?
Yeah, not much. Big dog, not a lot there.
No. There's even some security there for Brock, just in case there was another player lurking on the B site. But Whippy, he'll be taking out his counterpart of Vic.
That's a flawless coming through. There are no fines for that here, right?
Nope. Hopefully not. Love to see that. Very convincing anti-eco round from the side of MXS.
Yeah, did they even take much damage?
No, not
I
really.
don't think they did.
I think it was only the Gecko. It took a sliver of damage.
And so into the next we go. Now we'll have Cloud9 with an opportunity to fight back. You've got Mitch on light armor, but other than that, full rifles and full armor for the defense.
And a super healthy buy for the attacking side. Mata, he's setting the pace up short with that Viper wall. This is all to isolate 1v1s, whether it's on the site if the wall drops. There it is.
I mean, that's another opener for MXS.
Free picks across the board. And the double back after TPing. They understand that if a player dies in shower like that, there's only one more max. That's why Fly is so wary about it.
Yeah.
But the rotations, the patience from MXS, it might work against them here because the rotation is now coming in.
Vic has taken a little bit of space. Now the TP coming through. Fly arriving at just the right time. Applying a little pressure, making his presence known and backing away. Meanwhile, Brock committing to getting the plant down. Mata on the swing. Mitch is dead. Another one for MXS, but where's the response from Cloud9? Moose getting a little bit done here. Numbers still the way of the attack, though, as he cannot settle the shots onto Odorous. It gets slippery. It's getting messy. MXS in a really nice spot here. Vic is left in a 1v2. He cannot convert. That's another round, a bonus the way of the attack.
Proactivity. It's the name of the game right now for MXS. They're walking up short. They drop the wall. They get the pick. They TP. They double back. It's a job well done again for MXS. Good calling from Flya so far, and the individual prowess from Mata. He's been popping off already, man. This guy is hot. He's had so many trials. Oh, I can leak it. So many trials.
Can you leak it?
So many.
I mean, you did now.
So many trials. I'm not saying for who, but that's why he's so on fire right now. I mean, he has to be ready.
A little bit of aggression here from Cloud9 on the lighter weaponry of 3 stingers. Something found, but just one. So they're going to take all of this space A, and MXS will just wisely rotate to the other side of the map.
Yeah, and cautiously, too. I imagine they'll be using some utility here. There's a Gecko flash. Oh, poor Moose. He couldn't do anything about that. Only a stinger as well.
And you know, I mean, in situations like that, it's easy to skip some of those smaller steps, right? You know that they're on an eco, you know you're up big. As far as numbers on the map go, that's where these little mistakes happen, where you force something, where you don't drop util, where you don't confirm where presence is. And again, just a really clean round from Moist.
Yeah, the foundation that has been built within this team in the last couple of years, it's definitely something to be very proud of. And it's showing to be fruitful in this Red Bull tournament. It's up to Mitch and Zeppa. Zeppa does have a Phantom. I feel like he might try to save this because MXS, they're not really giving much of anything here. And Flya, he's going to close it out. 4-0 for MXS, Doug.
Yeah, you know, the fun thing about these off-season tournaments and different rosters and stuff like that is that you don't really know what to expect, right? It's all just kind of up in the air, how these teams gel, what does Scrim look like leading up to it. I don't know about you, but I didn't expect this.
No. If anything, I'm looking at this Cloud9 roster, I'm like, this is a roster that could be in the league right now. I mean, Mitch, well, he's done a great job IGLing on Oxygen all year long, for the last 2 years, right? And then Vic, he's been one of the most promising players from MXS.
Yeah.
Like, this is a VCT-ready roster, but they're just getting absolutely mollywopped on this attacking side. But, you know, it's still very early on. Keep in mind, this is a new setup for everybody. This is what LANs are about. Some players get acquainted to the setup a lot faster than others. And it looks like Cloud9 right now, they're just going through the motions. They're going to have to wake up a little bit, maybe take this time to warm up a little bit.
Was it early here? Like gamer hours go, is that early?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. A lot of these guys probably wake up around this time.
Yeah. So that is an early timeout called, as you mentioned, from Cloud9. They're down 4 rounds early on Bind, and there's a lot to talk about on the side of MXS, too. Man, they look really clean. You mentioned the calling and how really just kind of steady it's been.
Yeah.
Just through 4 rounds, but you can tell they have a game plan coming into this, and it's working really well. It also helps that they're out-fragging Cloud9 like crazy, bro.
Yeah. So exactly. In this timeout, I'm sure Imi's just saying, like, yo, guys, stop giving so many 1v1 engagements. Be ready for these aggressive plays in the beginning of the round that Mata is trying to take. Even if he has somebody with him, you just have to be aware, be ready for it. Maybe do some more jiggling. Play more as a cohesive unit on the defensive side. Go for a retake.
What's the buy for Cloud9 and where's the solution?
This is how worried Cloud9 are because of that Viper wall. Arumba invested so early on.
And as soon as Arumba goes down, he puts the wall back down. You know, you don't need to continue to lean into having that smoke wasted.
A great response. Here we go. First blood for Moose. This might be the first for Cloud9.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't think they've had an opener in this map yet.
What a change of pace from MXS, though, after the timeout to just sit and hold a default across the board.
Steady shots from Zeppa, starting to get overwhelmed and outnumbered with Vic close by. Perhaps the smoke has a little bit of something going on there. Oxy able to get 2 before falling. But Cloud9 in a position to potentially convert their first round.
Vic, the head-to-head against Flya.
Molly.
Great Molly.
Yeah, so clean. The flash is nice, but the spam from Zeppa is just holding the line. Keeping things as steady as possible.
This guy's camera's moving everywhere. He's getting active.
Get a little motion sick.
Yeah, maybe not in the server, but outside he was getting active. But I gotta call out that double truck setup. That was beautifully done from the side of Cloud9. It was all a bait. Vic was sitting right at the top, tucked in the whole time. Zeppa shows, gets off. 3 different points of players on high ground in that round to deal with that A hit. So clean. So that is a great setup from Cloud9. But can they chain a couple rounds together and close the gap? And they're running the same setup back to back. I mean, it worked once. Maybe it'll work again. Showers pressure from MXS. It's just gonna be a thrasher. It's gonna get so much info. The double dog.
A little bit of a got back sight. They have a decent idea for Zeppa, so he's gonna pop the ult in exchange. Not dealing enough damage to be lethal. Zeppa has to take a step back. He will fall. Big numbers away of Moist.
I mean, Doug, look at the utility on that execute from MXS.
I mean, you mentioned how the Thrash was going to get a ton of info. You're right. They baited out the showstopper. They got the dog out to get back sight. That was such a clean round.
That was crazy from Mata as well. I think he used the satchel to dodge that rocket so he didn't get taken down all the way. Fake ult, by the way. Hate Ray's ultimate. But the actual execute on the site was wonderful after that. You saw the Gecko flash coming as the players are running out of showers. Over the top of the hole in shower. That's where it came from. And then all of a sudden you're getting bombarded by mollies and Cubby. Too many things to worry about when you're running against this double initiator comp on bind. The executes can be so damning. I mean, if you're going to give a player like Mata all that utility, he's going to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, that was no slouch. So Moist continue to build onto their lead here. We talked about how they needed to find a way to close the gap, kind of bridge this down a little bit and keep it competitive. There's instantly a response. Cloud9 still seem off the back foot a little bit here, man. They don't seem comfortable.
Look at those satchels, man.
Yeah, there was that flash that you were talking about. Good luck trying to clean that up.
And then double molly.
Yeah.
I think there's a Gecko molly from shower, like a lineup as well, that lands in that Cubby. I mean, Whippy just uses his brim molly there on top of it just to secure the kill even more, but it's a very scrappy buy right now for Cloud9. Everybody on light armor.
Jump spotting out towards long.
Everyone's playing anti. MXS waiting for some type of aggression, either through that B long smoke or a walk down hookah. Some model was posted, but Moose!
Dude, sometimes it's just not your day.
Yeah. Pure intuition from Mata.
That's tough, man. Now they have, I mean, they still have Vic who has 2 smokes, but the amount of control that you've lost on the map is telling.
And without that Viper wall to go up, they understand that this B could be very vulnerable.
Only finding one, Mitch able to steady the spray. Stabilize the spam and get another. But again, numbers the way of Moist.
Spike planted.
Oxy's popped his ult, trying to get a little info, find out where they are before rejoining up with Vic. 1 away from his ult.
A lot of info gathered for him.
Is he gonna swing out of this? Take this fight? Yes, he is, but the molly's at his feet. He's not around, but Vic's already got into half. Make that 3/4. There's gotta be a stop. They draw out the ult. That will stop the defuse. He has gotten into half, though. There's still a shot at this.
He can get this.
That's 75%. Brock has to push the smoke.
What happened?
Their hands in the air. People are clapping, but I'm gonna assume he didn't get the defuse.
I had to look to my left towards the Terra Coast stream. They did not get the defuse, Doug. 6-1 for MXS. What a good try from Vic, though. Brock deciding to push forward when that Brim ultimate came out. That was the deciding factor into the round. What a clutch play.
You just got, yeah, you have to make that play there, and that's what you have no other choice.
Yeah. Is the Broctagon back?
He might be.
Vintage. It's going to be Mitch this time around in B-Long, not Moose. Whoa. Steady, son.
Clean flash, tries to turn it. Mitch drops Mata.
What a shot from Mitch. He was stuck. A real make it or break it moment right there. Zeppa holding this off angle. I don't know if Odorous is going to be aware of this. Perfect timing on the swing.
So, I mean, they were so well spread out. They had 2 down long. There was someone trying to explore short, someone trying to explore showers. And as you lose some of these positions spread out throughout the map, the walls begin to close in on you a little bit here. Zeppa's just going to continue to push the matter.
Good proactivity even after getting the pick. Yeah, you're up 5v3. But at this point of the game, I mean, he just wants to take things into his own hands.
I mean, it helps when you're getting ones like that and you're able to win them all. It's a flawless round from Cloud9 to get their second.
God, clean one. Pick B long, a pick showers. You really limit the attackers when you get picks on the extremities like that. What can they really do? I mean, Flya tried to do something in short, but Zeppa pushing all the way through shower. It was just too much for him to handle. It looks like Flya had an idea that might be a play happening, but the timing just wasn't quite there.
Which, you should expect. When you know you have one in showers and they die, certainly a possibility. So, 1-0 on the side of Cloud9, courtesy of Moose, or Mitch, excuse me. Moose is 1 away from having his. A lot of hookah presence here. The spam coming through off the flash. Brock is going to get a free one. How much more can he find? The counterpunch from Moose is perfect.
Yeah, and he's found the spike. Flya, he has to pop those seekers. And he does land the shot,
Yeah, get the best of Moose there.
Super tough for Vic. He just has to run out, try to make a play. Oh! And I promise you, there's no actual bad blood there. Just some friendly banter. Vic is the old teammate.
What in the world can Zeppa do here?
Save.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've got some money.
Yeah.
And he does have time, but you're right. In a 1v3 in a situation like that, a post plant, don't really have any util.
It would actually be smart for him to try to hunt down some of these kills, maybe on the exit, maybe even wrap around A to CT, just because he's getting close to that showstopper. And you're right, he does have enough cash to invest into the next round, so maybe overlooking how good that ultimate can be. But then again, do you blame him because the way his first ultimate went? I mean, it just did like 40 damage to Mata. Yeah.
So Cloud9 will save. Zeppa will carry that Phantom over into the next round. And that's a 7th for MXS.
And Mitch does have enough money to buy an operator for maybe the likes of Oxy or something. I'm wondering if he will, maybe not. But I feel like an op would do very well against the way that MXS is playing right now. We've seen a lot of contacting in before utility being used and then a pop of explosion, right? But then the execute comes out. So there's the operator onto Oxy, just like I said. A smart investment.
Well, that's yet to be seen. We'll see if they're able to convert anything off of that. It seems like he's going to want to play maybe towards long, a flash to set him up and have him hold the line. No, he just took it. He's there at the dog. We'll clear it out, and he's punished immediately. And now they're going to be able to accelerate and get out onto the side. Mata popping the ult, trying to satchel across. He gets the second onto Vic.
Oh my gosh, he's styling on him.
The round is over. And Mata's playing to the crowd.
Okay. What a superstar in the server right now. In and out.
Ever the showman. And honestly, I mean, after a rollout like that, yeah.
In the middle of the round, homie just gets up, hands off his mouse and keyboard, and even more BM being shown. Oh my goodness.
There's so many things that can be said in this situation, and none of them are family-friendly or appropriate. So.
I think it's just tactical. It's just tactical spamming and crouching, trying to mask the footsteps of Mata walking into this Viper smoke. It didn't do its job, but... Maybe a little bit of copium, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Moose, he will live. But at what cost? At what cost? It's 8-2 now.
Took a couple down with him. But yeah, 8-2. I mean, MXS, they're just...
disrespectful.
Yeah, they're doing whatever they want on that stage.
And that operator, I mean, I think Oxy did a really good job in the beginning of avoiding the flash, but the follow-up dog, I mean, good awareness from MXS to understand that there could be an op on the field. And yeah, that rollout was gorgeous from Mata.
The second kill on Vic,
yeah, that was unreal.
Was dumb.
That was unreal. It's just tough sometimes to hit the raise like that when he's just flying around.
And for as much as there was an explosive, accelerated round in the previous, here they slow down a little bit. Now they can continue to push the matter forward as Oxy falls again.
It's been an impressive showing of like a change of pace in the middle of the round. Like they could start slow, go fast, slow it down again.
No way, he gets both here. All right, never mind. MXS can do well. Holy smokes, what? Never mind. I was about to say, Moist can do no wrong, but Zeppa has arrived. The crowd letting their desires be known. Whippy's the only thing standing in between that is Vic who's gonna steal it, but that's a big round from Zeppa.
Jeez, the satchel on the top triple right there. In a 2v5 scenario. Just goes absolutely nuclear. That was some fine shooting right there. And for MXS, it was a great start to the round, and it was going to be a great finish had that not happened. They were going to all rip the teleporter right here and have a free B site. Yeah, but they just got mowed down.
They ran into Zeppa, and it was over.
But that was such a heroic round one for Cloud9. Zeppa, the only one positive, just because of that round alone.
10-7 currently.
Yeah, Oxy's been having a rough one.
Yeah, he has struggled. Ult has been popped.
What?
It's not fake that time, but he still falls for it.
Mata also fell to Vic. Trying to take a timing up short. MXS bringing their attention towards that B site. And Mitch, he's got a deep line at B. All the way in that all the way in that left side cubby.
Yeah, he's also got the Seeker. So as soon as the clock continues to roll down on this round, he can invest that.
But the problem here is Moose has already rotated all the way to A site. But that orb going up, it delays MXS.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so Moose can make it back in time for this actual hit. Jump spotting.
They've got to know where it's coming from now. They've got to be careful for the TP play. Vic is waiting on the other side. Oxy's still over towards A. They can slow things down or fully commit to this. It seems like it's going to be a divided approach. Meanwhile, MXS committing to getting the plant down. Mitch playing his position as carefully as he could. He waits patiently. Hasn't given his position up. It's a 3v3, but do they know where he is? It might not matter. They've all rotated backside.
It's not planted for them, though.
Bunched up. Oxy, the first to fall. It's all onto Mitch now with a thrash in his face. Has to get both, and he can't get any of them. That's another round win for MXS.
Jeez, proactivity from start to finish of this half. MXS, they look so dominant, so aggressive at times, slowing it down at the right times as well.
A 9-3 half the way of MXS. We're going to throw it to a halftime break. We will be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, we gotta start our next half here. But it was a very dominant half from Moist going into this map of bind. And, you know, so far, I mean, Doug, from the likes of Cloud9, it just looks like they're not even warmed up yet.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they certainly look out of sorts. They look a bit lost, but perhaps the attack side will tell a different tale. A pretty dominant start for MXS. We'll see if this is where the tides turn.
Yeah,
slow start to the round here, too.
Yeah, and I was about to say that at least on the attacking side, you could set your own pace. You could take the engagements you want, like Oxy getting 2 in showers. Nice shots.
That's a great start.
Whoa! Was that fade away from Moose as well?
A tale of 2 halves already? What is this? The pistols can be so volatile. But again, the big opener from Oxy, the 2K that you mentioned, and then that really just opens up the entire map.
Yeah, if Mata pulls this off, making full noise through hookah, this would be miraculous.
Player standing.
That's tough, man.
He almost had a chance, but that's very tough. And just to give some insight on what it's like, you know, playing at an international, not international, playing at a LAN, right?
Right.
Is that when you start on the defensive side, the opposing team can set the pace against you. And when it's the first match of the tournament and you're not used to everything going on, that can be very damning to you.
Yeah.
It can be very tough to get adjusted quickly like that. At least on the attacking side, you can take your time. Like I said, you could pick the engagements you want. You can ease into it a little bit. So now they just need to use all this time in Cloud9, even if they don't win this map, let's say. Just win as many rounds as you can. Get really adjusted to the setup here. Because it's different. It's not home. It's not VCT stage.
See what the investment looks like on the side of Cloud9. A Bulldog, a Guardian, 2 Guardians, and a Vandal. They've really put a lot of money into this. And just when it seemed like things might slip, they've gotten away with a lot. The problem is here, at best, they're carrying 3 rifles over.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is this is the same exact round that C9 did to MXS on their anti-eco.
Yeah.
Or on their eco round.
Only it was flawless.
It was a B long fight. But I guess MXS is just way too ready and warmed up. They got 2 guns. And honestly, Mitch might even go down here too if he doesn't play very cautious and play to his life.
Fly is just so far away here.
Yeah, so the free B site should be a free plant. Flya would honestly even be wise to just go down to the spike here, not give any more ult orbs to Oxy or Mitch. I mean, Oxy's already building up towards that Yoru ultimate.
Yeah, more than halfway there now.
3 orbs off.
It helps that he's had, again, the pistol that he had with the Sheriff, and then this round certainly helps things. And so we get a chance to chat for a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, break that down for me. What's the strategic significance for running that pistol skin?
I think Flya might be trying to appeal to the fan base of Koi.
Yeah, are there Koi fans in the house? Is that what that was?
I mean, he's saying something, Flya. I mean, he's saying nothing, but he's saying something. Oh, yeah.
Dude, Reddit is going to go nuts with this.
Very interesting. Very interesting. A little bit of foreshadowing, perhaps.
Where's rocket bullets?
Pretty successful anti-eco.
1 enemy remaining.
Saving 3 major weapons going into the first gun round of MXS. And you know what? There's a lot of light armor from the side of MXS, so a good opening for these Guardians to get a lot of damage done. And Vic, the newest member, one of the newest members of C9, at least for this Red Bull tournament, he's sitting at a Stinger and light armor, but that can shred. Stinger's a very underrated weapon.
I don't know. I feel like in this day and age, it's very well rated. Everyone knows that thing is insane. A couple of those traded at the very beginning. MXS looking to avoid getting bonused.
Brock just taking aim duel short A. Now opting to give all of the sight. They know they can just delay. There's one more Brim Smoke up. For Whippy, it gets used on default. Fight for U-Haul. Moves.
I thought he was going to get the kill there. Whippy's position has been so nice, though.
Yeah, he played it perfectly.
It's a 2v3. It seems like they're going to rotate away, so foot race back towards B. The thing is, Fly is just a little bit faster. The flash isn't going to tag. Mitch falls. Moose has to try to jump out in front of that wall, and I mean, it's just all straight to your death.
Yeah, nearly impossible, especially when that flash doesn't connect.
Yep.
Having to jump through a Viper wall, your HP goes low. Flya gets the easiest kills of his life.
Because the alternative is what? You just wait until the wall goes down and then facing 3?
And then there's 3, yeah. Exactly.
Is it damned if you do, damned if you don't?
It was good trades in the beginning on the Mata. I believe it was Moose that took him out on top of that box and pocket. And it looked promising for a little bit, but it was a lot of good damage done. Now, this is something you do not see every day on a map like Bind, and it's the Odin in the hands of Brock.
He's got a strat for it back from spawn.
Yeah, he can spam. He can really spam the whole mag into showers. He might even get a free pick. This is where the core of Cloud9 are taking. Oh, it's a jump spot into the spam?
That's devious.
It would be deadly. Oh, Moose. Looks like he had an idea that there could be somebody creeping up, but he's missing the time.
He's got to get out of there.
Oh, Odorous.
He's creeping forward. Moose knows the heal will not carry him through that.
What a perfect peek. Oh, the second. Sit down, son.
That was with a Phantom.
Yeah, sit down.
And now they still have to deal with everything else that's posted up towards A.
It's going to take heroics now, and Oxy, if he can avoid this Roomba in the smoke,
which he did.
An opening.
Put the spam through. Spidey
I say there could be an opening as there's 4 players on the site.
But there could. Feed the people lies.
Oh, man. Here comes the 3-2-1 at any moment. Oh, it's going to be a raise nade instead.
But the thing is, all of this is just Oxy drawing attention. The spike is headed towards
30
B
seconds left.
with a little bit of convoy, but it's not going to be around for long. Zeppa satcheling out towards side, a tap of the spike, but now realizing you can only fake for so long. He's going to deal with Mata. A flash in his face, turning every single which way that he can. 13 seconds left now. No room to breathe. Nothing found, and we've been trolled yet again.
I think MXS got the trade eventually, but...
Yeah, I just heard Tarek go nuts.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Zeppa looks like he's locked in right now. He's flicking utility left and right, using his satchels, reactionary. He's looking really good in the server right now. He brought that down to a 1v2. Had the spacing been a little bit more off for MXS, he might have time to pop that showstopper. Who knows what could have happened, but that did not. Unfortunately for Cloud9. They're down 11-5. Their second timeout is being used. Here's the replay of that.
Or the play. Yeah, he gets cleaned up. I mean, there was just too much to deal with in that moment. There were too many things to deal with. Time was short, didn't have the spike down in a 1v4.
And again, you just got to string as many rounds together as you can. Get really warmed up. Get Oxy online.
He's had some moments, but you're right, he's been quiet.
And this is the narrative of this Cloud9 team. If he isn't performing at his peak maximum potential, it's tough for them to sneak out these wins. Yeah, it's something they're trying to work on actively in this offseason going into next year.
A little feast or famine with him. But boy, when he's feasting, the kid's nuts.
Yeah, he just takes over. Obliterates everybody in the server alone.
You saw a quick look there at the Red Bull Homeground trophy. Currently posted up between those two. During rehearsals yesterday, I may or may not have picked it up. It's actually, it's sturdy, it's stout. Yeah, it's heavier than you would have thought. Satchel's already set up, Mata pushing the matter instantly. Vic's on the trade. They've got the ult here from Zeppa if they want to go, and he does. There's the Satchel out, but he gets one before going down.
A fast start to the round. Already a 3v2, 20 seconds in.
Yeah, and the thrash from Brock went all the way around back into A short, didn't connect. So he can't really pick it up until he re-clears that space. And they've got a lot of time here. Cloud9 does.
Oh, good rotation to the B site. And a deep smoke. Odorous, is he gonna face check this? Looks like he is, but he's alone right now.
That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, now.
And again, Brock doesn't have that thrash. Here. Is he gonna?
Yeah, I think they're just saving at this point. Odorous, he's having a nice map, slowly creeping up. I mean, I didn't even know this guy had 17. We only really got to see that highlight of him, you know, walking down hookah, getting some kills into market and spawn.
And he looks like he's glowing right now too, like an aura around him.
he's got aura. Is that what you're saying?
17 and 10. You gotta have something.
Mata's definitely got some aura. That guy's scary in the server.
The spike will go off. Cloud9 will get their 6th. You've got Odorous, who's 2 points away from having this put up.
Good trades from Vic in short. Getting the second on top of it. Beautiful. Maybe Vic finally getting adjusted to the stage. And he's somebody who's been pretty quiet on this map. He is one of the new guys, like I said. But he's very, very talented.
Yeah, there's a ton of promise to him.
Yeah, this guy has looked good all year long.
What's the plan here for Cloud9? Oxy has his ult. Maybe a little bit of reconnaissance. You don't really have like a breach to set up or anything like that off the ult, so you imagine this is primarily just for info.
Oh, but he didn't see the player tucked under hookah. Now he does. Doesn't matter. Sees all three in the open.
Does he have a TP to get out? He does have a TP to get out, and that's exactly what he does. Draws out the ult for Mata. Zeppa dodging it all.
And a freeze to the round.
Right here.
I think Vic is aware that Mata could be on this off angle. That's why they're up down on it.
Do they have anything to clear it? Yeah, Mitch has his dog. So does Flya. Try to conceal as much as you can. Only one found there. I mean, surely yeah, okay. This should get cleared out. Modest position's been given away. They can choose to either TP out and live to fight another day, or they dig their heels in and fight.
Yeah, but the problem is the time is running so low now. The delay from MXS, it was so good. And yeah, it was weak, but there's no way for Cloud9 to know that.
Ox is spotting 2 there.
Yeah, the reaction though, everybody up short.
There's a lot on Whippy here. He's got to know where they're coming from. Flashed, dead.
That's too fast.
Yeah, the spike gets planted. Now the rotations are coming through. And they've got the Seekers that they're going to have to reckon with. Full util for the duelist. Zeppa's trying to his best to hang on to this sliver of the site. Doing way more than that as he gets 3 on the round. 30 HP as he looks for another. The clip runs dry, but the damage has been dealt. 2v2 as the spike continues to tick away. Odorous' positioning again has been flawless. Mata and Odorous. Mitch is left alone. It's a tap of the spike. It's a threat. It's all fake. Mata with 3 as Moist gets to map point.
What a retake from Moist, especially after what Zeppa just did. I mean, Zeppa's in the flow state right now. Like I said previously.
It's been a couple of times now where he's had like some insane moments and they can't convert.
And had he had a little bit more ammo in that Phantom, he probably would have taken out Mata too, who jumped up on the box to get the trade. The double swing here onto Oxy was beautiful. And then this pace that Zeppa put, being ahead of that smoke of Whippy, I mean, this was insane. Again, shooting the Gecko Flash, flicking instantly to heaven, but it was Odorous with this late flank, catching off the Brimstone, catching off Vic. That opened up everything for the retake. And now MXS are on match point.
A little bit more competitive of a second half, but I think the story's still the same. MXS look really good so far.
In full control of this map. And the crazy thing is, this is Cloud9's map pick.
That's tough. That dink will certainly help the situation as you see Mata trying to satchel away to safety.
What a risky play from Odorous. Maybe feeling it a little too much, feeling that 12-6 lead.
Yeah, when you're up 6, you kind of roll the die a little bit, sure.
Walking through the Viper spit that he put down, trying to get a quick flank onto B. Respectable.
He's gotten away with it here.
Yoink.
The spike will go down. I think the one question is how much, I mean, can Whippy survive? They have a lot of time to hunt this guy down. The thing is, they don't really have the money.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, do you really want to try to hunt him down? I mean, maybe Moose because he's only 3 off the orb.
Well, I think the thing is, too, for Whippy, I mean, you get a kill, you have your ult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great setup for him.
If I'm Cloud9, I won't even be going for this just because of the mere fact alone that he can get his ultimate.
Yeah. But they might try. It certainly seems like they're sniffing around.
Yeah, then again, if they do take him out, the money is so bad from MXS that, you know, maybe that ult doesn't even matter. You know, they're going to be on an eco no matter what in this next round. It's unlikely that Whippy will invest that ultimate unless they get a couple picks. I mean, so I guess it's wise to hunt him in that moment.
Bad point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if he saves it for anything.
So Cloud9 will get their 7th round. 5 more to tie it up. Looking a little bit more active, I'll say that.
That feels like a big 5, bro.
Yeah, it is a big 5, but they look a little bit more animated in front of us. I feel like they were kind of like zombies in the first half. Really going through the motion.
Do they go aggressive here? Vic and Zeppa, excuse me, both have ults. There's the swing out. He's got him spotted. Didn't really know that there was someone else with the crossfires. Very nicely handled.
Enemy remaining.
Flyer ran knife out through Hookah, trying to get a quick flank. But the footsteps, they were too loud, too audible.
I tell you about that one time Odorous hit a 1v3 with the Sheriff to close the map. I ever tell you that story?
No. I don't want to hear it.
Well,
I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
See, what he did was he
crept up out of whoa.
Hang on. Oh.
Wait, instead of Odorous trying to flick and kill the guy on bench, he decides to shoot the body of Oxy.
Priorities, man.
Hey.
So Moist will, MXS will be back on guns. Cloud9 have put together a couple rounds, again, to keep this second half a bit more competitive than the first. And I guess it's not over until it's over. We talked about how 5 felt like a really big 5, but you chip away a round at a time, and, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, the money is not looking too hot for MXS. If Cloud9 convert this next round with the ultimates that they have, they could reap the benefits of this comeback.
There's the committed. The Molly's going to buy just a little bit of time. Spit segmenting them apart as the kills go 1 for 1. Whippy and Fly still have their ults, and it might not matter. They've just waltzed into their death. Both ults used, but numbers heavily the way of MXS. And now the Seekers have to be dealt with. The spike is still back in hookah.
Yeah. Looked like Cloud9 just forced that hookah pop.
Yeah.
Even being up 5v4.
I mean, they had the tools to do it, I get it. But it just didn't convert in the end. Fly gets a 4K as MXS roll Cloud9 on Bind.
Yeah, had it not been Flya, it would have been that Brim ultimate from Whippy. It was perfect timing on it.
That was just such a clean performance from top to bottom. You mentioned that Cloud9 felt like they felt a little sluggish, right? They didn't really feel like they were awakened on the stage. Meanwhile, the pace was dictated from MXS from the very beginning.
Yeah.
There was very tactical crouching, there was body shooting of all sorts and all kinds, and I think the message was sent, the tone was set from the very beginning. A 1-0 lead in the way of MXS. Ascent on the other side of this break. You're watching Red Bull Homegrounds. We will be right back.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Homeground NA qualifiers. We just finished out map 1, so let's chat, let's break it all down. Great start, of course, for Moist X Shopify. And quite frankly, at one point, it didn't look like it's just a friendly game. It felt a little personal when they started shooting Vic's body there.
It looked very personal.
Personal.
I mean, Vic making the decision to go off and now play with Cloud9 in this event, the former teammate of MXS for all of last year. And I think they let him know that they are still better. That was a statement win. And I mean, you saw it. Not only was it shooting bodies in server, but it's like Mata in the middle of the round doing that.
This is Mata enters the site with 2 satchels, gets 2 kills, and then just AFKs. Like, it's 5v3, the round is literally over, and is getting the crowd involved. He was also getting super excited during the walkout too, trying to get it pumped up. I love the look from up on the stage.
I do love the confidence, and that's kind of what you want to have heading into this match. If we're looking at the stats here and how they, like, you know, compared by the numbers, we did hype up Oxy very much, actually heading into this first half, a little bit quiet.
Yeah, and a little bit quiet throughout. I think that most of the rounds that Cloud9 were winning were the Zeppa show, who's the guy who was really consistent for them all of last year, now playing back onto the Rays that we've seen from him before. And he had a lot of great individual moments. But as a whole, I felt like Cloud9 was not playing as well as a team anywhere near as much as MXS was. That attacking side, the coordination was on point, all of the utility was in the right place. They looked super put together here, which I think is not crazy surprising considering how good their year was in Tier 2, but with a new player, a new kind of stage, not playing online. I think it's just especially impressive to start like this.
I mean, MXS just crushing in first kills there, 14-7. It tells a pretty good story of the game. I think for the most part, their sight hits looked very strong and were putting C9 in losing positions consistently. Like, even that one round that Zeppa was able to clutch out, like, that was MXS in a fantastic position, and just some heroics out of him on top of triple boosted up there to be able to turn that back around.
Yeah, and normally a big strength for Cloud9, I think, is getting Oxy into those positions to fight for first bloods, and it just wasn't happening as much.
Zeppa's whole team is negative. Like, what's a man to do?
That's tough for Zeppa. Not much more he could have done, to be quite honest. He had an excellent match despite the loss.
Do you feel like that performance was partially due to the new pieces that Cloud9 now had to integrate? I mean, we don't know how much prac time they got, right, with Mitch and Vic, and then also, of course, having a new IGL, that's got to change things up for the entire team.
I think the mid-rounding looked a little bit weaker when they were getting hit by those really strong sight hits like you were talking about. I felt like they struggled to recover in these man-down situations. This is one example of how good it is. Mata dies first for MXS. They're in a 3v5, but their utility on the rest of this execute and just the player quality is good enough to still win it out. They clear their way into sight and even managed to steal this round back away. Yeah,
they still have 2 flashes on Fly, which really lets them keep on playing here into U-Haul for a little bit. Fly actually tucks himself in around that Molotov before ending up dropping that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think really good moments throughout for MXS. The confidence that these individual players were delivering across the board was really good. Maybe not the round where they won, but still, I think the clutch potential that these guys were showing, even players like Odorous, really stepping up there.
Yeah, I mean, the synergy and the great execution, everything on full display there for Moist X Shopify. But now back to the drawing board for Cloud9. What do you feel they need to do to bring this back? I mean, the second round already looked more competitive, of course, playing on attack. What do we want to see here on Ascent?
I mean, look, they're going on to Ascent, like, Oxy just needs to show up, is just
simple as that.
Yeah, he's going over onto the Jet.
So we're going back to Oxy Go Kill.
I mean, he's playing on the Jet map. This is the map more than anything else where you just want to show up.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case as they are getting ready here for Ascent. We talked a little bit about Ascent already prior, like in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you want to see composition-wise?
I think for me, the biggest question is, do MXS play into the Cypher Deadlock? I would love to see it because I think the NA Tier 2 teams last year looked so good on the Cypher Deadlock looks, especially on this map, even inspiring some of the VCT teams like Leviathan, even a little less successfully, Sentinels, to try it out.
Dangerous.
But this was one of the squads that looked really good with that composition, and I think it would be pretty cool to see them go back to it.
For which of these 2 teams, if we just look at the mental here, which has more pressure on them? Is it Cloud9?
I mean, from a certain point, yeah, because they are the org. I would say like some certain players, but at the end of the day, I think this is less of a pressure moment and more of like a moment to like shine and actually show what you actually have capable, right? Because like, you know, if you end up falling here, you're going to still have time. But I think everyone at the end of the day wants to be able to make it to Berlin, have another big tournament to play in during this year. But I don't know. I feel like the pressure when I'm looking at them on stage isn't getting them, because even when C9 were having some couple tough rounds in there, they were still looking pretty motivated, I would say.
Yeah, and for Cloud9, I think that they probably are coming in with a good mentality. If we think back to their last off-season, what they were doing was playing pretty much every event that they could. They were playing more off-season events than basically anyone else, flying around the world. They talked a little bit about how that did cause some burnout. It was a little too much at times, but I do think it set them up for success because they had such a strong start in Stage 1 Americas, going 5-1 as a team with a basically brand new roster. And I think they just have to come in with that same mentality again.
Zeppa was frying.
He was.
If there's one guy to keep it going from map 1 to map 2, that's one thing you absolutely do not want to change. Presumably he's going to be playing
on this one, though.
He's also the one who looks the most relaxed on stage right now.
Yeah, see, look, that guy does not look like he's pressured at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't feel pressure either with those numbers. I'd be like, I did my job. Like, this is not on me. It's a team. Yeah, it's a team game, but really, let's be
He's
real.
probably also the most experienced player on that stage. I mean, going to lands he was at Champions 2021, I think.
Sure, if you say
Yes, like always.
probably.
I believe you. That was really convincing.
Yeah, maybe Zeppa's like, hey, you want to let me lock in the jet this map? Like, I've been doing it for a while. Had a good map
This goes back to your big question, who is thinking for Oxy?
Who is thinking for Oxy?
Every interview last year, if we ask him, oh, what are you thinking? Someone said, man, I don't think.
I'm not paid to think. Like,
yeah.
paid to shoot people.
And he did. And he did.
And he did.
He'll have to.
It's got to play to your strength. If thinking isn't one of them, then, you know, stay away from that. That's
great. I tend to try and avoid it as much as possible.
Thinking in general.
Yep.
Okay, what's your strength and what do you do if you don't think? You just exist.
He can't think of an answer, unfortunately.
He can't think of the answer. Yeah, that's
I'm stumped. I am stumped.
Lada looks so comfortable up on that stage.
They really do.
He loves it.
Yeah, waving people on.
I love the shift,
pumping him up.
I love the shift in energy we're seeing there from MXS. Because heading into this, like, it felt a little bit more tense, and now they're relaxing. Oxy, there we go. Yeah, he needs to show up big.
He does.
On this end.
And it's got to just kind of relax, let go a little bit, channel more of what we were seeing from MXS. I think it's got to be especially great for the players to be here now and have this opportunity because of the heartbreaking end to their season last year, right? Playing that online tournament in Challengers month after month and being one of the top teams pretty consistently, only to not make it by one match and not have that chance to show that you're VCT caliber. And now to get to come to this event and play against VCT teams, to play against some of the best in the region.
On a LAN.
And show that on LAN. That's got to really pump these guys up.
And then the chance to also travel internationally if you end up winning this, going to Berlin to compete there as well. Like,
I didn't get to Brazil, you can go to Berlin.
Yeah.
All good.
Almost the same thing.
I see B and I see R, it's an L, it's all the same.
Yeah, that thinking thing.
Yeah, okay, I'll avoid it.
A little bit less of that.
You're right.
A little
Where's
less
the
of that,
Z in
please.
Berlin?
Huh? There's a Z somewhere. Probably.
You live there.
There was a what in
remember?
Berlin?
A Z?
A Z?
Yeah, so you could hide one in there.
I'm
Again, I am not paid to think so. Can we move on to the next question?
Clearly not. Yeah, we're fixing some tech issues, by the way, on stage. So we're waffling to keep you entertained. And we show you numbers because people love numbers.
What do you think about that number, Zoe?
Which one in particular? There's a bunch.
The ACS?
Big fan.
It is a big number.
255.
Big number,
big
good player.
number,
That's
big
what they always say.
fan.
I mean, visually, I like that KDA has 1.6 to it, and there was a 1.6 number underneath that. That was kind of cool.
True.
Don't know if it's relevant, but we're playing the maps now.
Here's
There
your
we
agent
go.
select. We've escaped it. No deadlock cipher, but there is a cipher on MXS's side, which is not completely uncommon, but not most teams are just going to play that default comp that we see coming out from C9 with the Killjoy instead.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I like with the Cypher especially is on the attack side, you can actually use the camera a little aggressively to scan for forward ops, whether you put that above tiles to check out and see if there's going to be an op over on the cat side. And I think really with Moist X Shopify starting on attack, like, you are looking at Oxy and trying to spot that operator as soon as it comes online.
And I would say that's probably Odorous' best agent. He's always looked really good on that Cypher. Having the cages on attack as well is nice. You run out of Omen smokes, you have another potential there. You can also kind of activate lurks, block off a turret, something to that effect. It changes how you play just that little bit that can throw teams off who are used to playing insta-kill.
Yeah, I like the way you can use it to sort of like cross areas in mains especially. Like you throw a smoke down to break a one-way, get the cross into the corner by orb, you can cross over to main, clear out into wine as well. So a lot of flexibility in that lurk role like you're talking about.
And all that yapping, so true, so real. But I'm looking at Oxy versus Mata. Mata was lights out. He was pumping up the crowd. He was feeling good on that stage. Oxy's got to channel that same energy. He was the vibes guy who brought Cloud9 into so many matches last year, and I think he's got to do that again if they want to recover and stay alive here, Zoe.
Yeah, and they got to start their comeback now. This is single elimination, everything on the line for Cloud9. That was not intentional, but it did happen in that sentence. And to walk you through all the action and hold your hands through it, we got Doug and Baby Bay on the mic again.
You're gonna hold our hands?
That's so sweet.
You know what I love about working with Zoe is she gives us so much to work off the throw. First, she's rhyming.
Yeah.
So she's got bars.
And now we're holding hands.
Play by play, and now we're holding hands. And we're going to hold hands with you all as we take you through this next map. Seattle, you've been a lovely host, and we could not have asked for anything else. We've got a set on the other side of this bad boy. You guys are already fired up and ready to go, so we should be getting into the action here momentarily. A 1-0 lead the way of MXS, and they...
Let's go back.
Yeah, they smacked them up a little bit on that bind map, for sure.
They messed them up on bind.
And on this Ascent, I mean, it could be a similar story. This is their map pick.
Yeah.
Aren't they
and
incredible?
they have the Cypher on Odorous. So much more info can be gathered. Now, it's a lot safer to play the Killjoy on this map, a lot more standard. But there's a lot of cool trap setups that you can do with this Cypher. Now, they are starting on the attacking side, so you're probably going to see a lot of B main control, starting with that cage that you see on the mini-map.
Attack side Ascent. You gotta love it. First kill, good night. Yep. The defense historically reigns supreme on this side. Oh my gosh. That was almost, that was almost a clip.
It was pure chaos in mid. Just battling back and forth. A catwalk push from both sides. But Moose, he wins the 1v1. That jump classic. That was some cold stuff from Odorous. Or was it Brock? I think it was Broctagon.
I think if you just say it confidently, people will believe you. You just got to sell out to it.
I think you're onto something here, bud. Odorous did put a cage in B main in the round previous. I imagine it's something he's going to condition in these future rounds. And that could be good because you can cross behind the box. So many different angles a defensive member has to hold. It's just going to be a contact play, though. A triple swing.
Good.
And Mata, good grief.
Yeah, Moose might have gotten a bit more than he bargained for there.
A great trade, though, from Zeppa. I don't even think that was off of a dart. I think he just randomly spammed. Off a sound, probably. And this is something you don't see every day.
Yeah.
Zeppa on the Sova. Normally it's Zeppa on the KO on this map, I believe. So a role change, but it's looking good. Mitch, he's very comfortable playing these flash initiators. It's something that he's done quite a bit on Oxygen.
You know, Mimi was talking about how Oxy back on the Jet map has an opportunity to get back online, to really get things going, and, you know, Oxy go kill, or, you know, all those other very strategically deep technical approaches to the map. But I do think she's kind of onto something here because, you know, we were talking about it on map 1. We saw it all of VCT.
Yeah.
It's feast or famine with him, and when he's on, nobody stands to him.
Yeah,
but when he's, like, slow and quiet, I mean, you could beat him.
Yeah, you're right, bro. Even good old me could beat him. No, I'm not gonna lie, this guy mollywopped me a lot of times. I think I beat him maybe one time ever. But yeah, the difference is when you're playing a double duelist comp, usually only one of the duelists tends to pop off, especially when you're running a Yoru raise. I feel like a lot of the setup is for that raise. The Yoru can be very hard to kind of get stuff going for yourself. This time around, all the utility is for him and only him. That's where you see the paranoia, the KO pop flashes. He's just gonna schmeeg it out. He's running it down right now.
That was such a cool setup. They invested so much to make sure that that didn't happen, and they just disrespected all of it. Disrespected the cage, disrespected the cam.
Oh, Mata's 8 HP.
But Fly has arrived to help.
The thing is C9 with that aggressive push, they're up one member. They can really opt to just give all of A site. You have a molly on door that can be used, a deep alarm bot on B main to give you even more info. They should be more than willing to play a retake style against this. Mata, they know he's worse for wear.
The old swift breeze would take him down. 8 HP.
And that's why he's set up as a lurk here, but there's 3 members. Fly on the stagger might get some good info for him. Tags 2.
Wow. I didn't think he was going to tag the Omen.
What is that? He evens the numbers with the spam? Maybe that's a hard read into, you know, the years of playing with Vic.
Maybe. I didn't think the knife was going to tag him, and for the spam to do so as well is criminal, quite frankly.
Oh.
Mata has been dealt with, disposed of.
What a headshot.
Big opportunity here for Cloud9 to get a big lead. Off of the flash, have not fully cleared out loose. Whippy will fall as Fly finds safe passage across, and then he will fall as well.
Yeah, he got taken out. The follow-up kill from Zeppa.
I expected better of them.
A great start to the round, a great aggressive push from Cloud9. Trying to catch the members off guard, and they did just that. Looks like it's going to be either an early timeout or something going on, because we're not getting into the next round quite yet.
Yeah, it's
tech.
I can inform you, and it's not good news. But you know, maybe the good news is that we're enjoying each other's company a little bit more.
Yeah, facts.
This is just more time for us to spend together. But there is unfortunately, a tech pause. It sounds like it's an audio issue. As soon as I hear more, get it?
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah?
Good one, buddy.
What can I say?
Good one, buddy.
As soon as we get it fixed, the game will continue.
Zeppa looks so comfortable on this stage.
He does. He did not... no, actually, that's not true. He did look comfortable map 1 as well. It was just the rest of Cloud9 that really kind of stumbled out of the blocks. But this is just such an entirely different start.
I'm not letting go of this handshake, Ender.
For those of you at home who are really confused about what's going on, Baby Bay was just handshaking Ender for what felt like 3 rounds. But we are getting back into the action again. Things looking really good for Cloud9. They win the bonus. A far cry from what we saw on Bind.
Yeah. Setting the pace. I mean, it's been proactivity from them this time around. And that's just good Valorant being played. When you see players making plays and executing them correctly, like they have from the pistol round onto the bonus, it really can set you up for success.
Yeah.
When you have the Odin online already for Zeppa. A very scrappy buy from MXS. But it is a free A site. The thing is, there's already 4 members here ready to flood in.
Smoke will keep him at bay. The drone has to be used to try to funnel out, but it's instantly cleared. It's going to be tough to find their way through, but come hell or high water, they seem to be making it work until they run into Vic, until they run into Oxy. And the door is slammed shut on the round.
Just too many members there and completely outgunned. The timing on Mitch, yeah, was phenomenal. It was a great entry from Odorous. But it's just not enough. You have 3 players in heaven, basically just posted up like they're in the shooting range. And now the spike is down at door.
That's just such a miserable choke to try to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as that smoke goes up, you're not going to dry face it, right? No. You have to use util. So, okay, what's the first tool we have? Oh, we have the drone. Let's get out that way. That gets cleared instantly, and then you have the spam that you're trying to dance around, and it's just really tough to get through, and you kind of see that play out there. And honestly, that was with a little bit of success found. They had made their way out of the choke. They had made their way to switch, but then they just, I mean, they just died a couple of steps later than you would have expected them to.
Yeah, the flood from heaven can be so strong, especially with the firepower. Oh, sound being made, Vic. He'll find a 3rd to the round, and he is online and ready. Cloud9 up 4-0 on this Ascent defensive side. It's looked good. The closest round we've had so far has been that pistol. Maybe an op can be invested into this next round for Cloud9. I think 1 member dropped. The economy is looking nice, and Oxy's feeling it. Once he gets going with that weapon, it's going to be even more impressive for the attacker side.
Well, I wonder how much... He has already found success with the Outlaw. Remember, they bought an op for him on Bind, and he instantly got popped. They never did it again. But this is obviously a different story. It's a different map, and he's on Jet.
And they're going head-to-head, off the op right here.
Whoa. That little off angle is so tricky. Mada's got to be quick on the trigger, but Oxy's faster.
Good trade from Odorous. That was so quick.
That thing looked like it was in slow motion, too. A little bit of spam coming through. Odorous down to 16 HP.
Wow! The counter op, the counter Odin. It's Brock that's out on top because there's no trade.
And now they got the Hunter Fury, too. Brock with the tag onto Vic. Not able to deal death.
The crazy thing is, was the Molly from Moose all the way on that B site. That dealt death onto, I believe it was Odorous, who was tagged up low.
Again, you got to say it confidently, man.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out who it was. I was like, wait a second.
3v3, Brock looking to hold the line, still has the Odin in his hand. Light armor, 2 shots to deal with, but it's not going to matter. The first bit of spam coming through, warning shots, a threat of what's waiting on the other side. The anticipation, the need to go, and the need to go very soon. How do they find a way in? How do they crack this thing open? Off the paranoia, Brock's on the swing, not able to settle shots at first, finally drops Moose. And Whippy anchored back sight, trying to do it all on his own, and he will. That's a round for MXS.
The replacement comes in huge in the 1v1, but that retake, it was so hard for Cloud9. All things considered, Flya popping that KO ultimate. There's no util that can be used for the defending side to flood into the site with. And Brock with the Odin, I mean, it's a good pair.
That's just tough, man. They invest the ult and everything, and like, that's a tricky spot to be in. You're right, you mentioned the trade off of the op kill at the very beginning on Oxy. That changes a lot, man.
Yeah.
If Oxy's able to get 2 there, the round's effectively done.
Yeah, and you could tell that Oxy was not ready at all for that second player. Thought it was just going to be the op leading. And it's not every day that you see an op be bought on the attacking side of a Sent like that. Now Oxy, he can invest into the mini op, the Outlaw. A lot of the members of MXS are on light armor, and he is aware of that. A lot of util being used, a lot of info util being used from MXS.
Good night, that was so fast from Mata. There was nowhere for Moose to go. Clean shot out from Oxy onto Odorous, though. To try to stabilize things, get him back to 4. The spam comes through, but the attack has landed onto the site. They're getting the spike down. And again, it's going to be a retake attempt from Cloud9. We talked about how labored that was in the previous round. Can they find more success here? Mata playing around the smoke, trying to play around the drone. Again, cleanly disposes of Mitch before Oxy's able to trade him back. As Cloud9 seem to get a little bit more room here. They have a little bit more as far as numbers go. Off the swing, Brock arrives. A 1v1, 43 HP though. Time is on his side, no real idea if he's clean through. That's a fake TP and he has no idea! A massive hold from Vic.
What an outplay from Vic. The smoke didn't quite hit the mark, but it's the thought that counts. The fake TP totally juked out Brock, who had no info on where that smoke was because he was already pushed all the way up towards boat. What a sick outplay. The 1v1, now Vic. Like I said, he's heating up right now. And the entries from Mata, they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, much of an ask, though.
Vic has been the sweet spot for me here. Currently, what is he at, 7-3?
7-3.
Yeah, that's a great start for him.
There's a lot of players popping off right now on Cloud9, but the Omen, it can be so oppressive to play against, especially with the anchoring potential. Later in the half, when he gets tested a lot more towards that A site from MXS,
all I heard
you might see him just pop off.
Yeah, I mean, all I heard was bad news tech pause. So maybe if you guys know any songs, you can teach us a couple songs, something like that. We may have some time here to talk things through. This is Tech Pause admin. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think I've seen Tech Pause admin before.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Must be some serious stuff going on backstage.
It doesn't look serious. I see Moose smiling on the stage.
Yeah, and just to talk about this map a little bit more, it's very defensive side. It's very hard to get stuff going on the attacking side, especially when you lose pistol, especially when you lose bonus. This game can be so snowbally at times.
Yeah.
And with the economy just being shredded for MXS. If you keep investing into these rounds and not converting, before you know it, this could be a 10-2, it could be a 9-3.
Yeah. You just kind of get hit at the beginning of the round and you blink and then, yeah.
It's done.
It's like, what happened?
And there's only so much you can do on this attacking side in terms of IGLing and strategy. I mean, really, you just try to identify, you know, the three setups that the defensive side can make, which is either a mid-fight or a 3-2 either way. You know, 3 on A, 2 on B, vice versa. It's really the only 3 ways that you could play the map on the defensive side other than pushes.
That's the depth of the playbook there. I'm being told we're going back into the action. The match is live. And so, yeah, right back into the fold of things. Mata with the blades. You see the setup there for him. They tried getting him a pick early on. They've invested the dart to get him some info and some space too. If they try to brute force their way into B, this is gonna be tough. They don't really have the guns. Util's all set up here. And this is where the massive amount of numbers of Cloud9 are. Straight into the teeth of the defense. And they get picked apart.
Too easy, and like I said, Fly identified, okay, there's only been 2B for the last couple of rounds, but it doesn't even matter because Vic from A-Site can put a one-way on market. He can smoke B main. The flood can happen. In this case, didn't even need to happen because Mitch was just there, straight up bodying kids, that's it. Sit down. The jet knives off of Mata there too. When you're coming out of that smoke, sometimes you can be disoriented. Don't know which way to look exactly.
And that half a second is all it takes.
Yep.
Especially when you've got shooters like that.
Mitch looking very comfortable on the KO on this map. Oxy.
Speaking of looking comfortable, he just waltzed his way down into mid.
Gone in a second, and that kill causes the instant reaction to speed up A.
Wow, the paranoia. They find a little bit more though. Is Oxy still perched up in heaven? Looking over the site, the Guardian Angel for Cloud9 gets another.
And he's just feasting right now. He's feasting on these MXS members.
3 on the round for him, 11 and 4 so far. Mimi was right, man. Put him back on the jet, and it's a different story.
But also, it's the buys from MXS, the light armor.
Yeah, that's not helping the situation at all.
The Outlaw is so good against that. That's why this gun was brought into the game, to punish players for investing in light armor and Vandals, or Phantoms, whatever you call it, whatever you want to do. Right now, there hasn't been really much conditioning that MXS has shown on this attacking side. They haven't really been able to set themselves up for later in the half.
Again, and it was, mind you, it wasn't fully just him waltzing down mid by himself. There were 2 members that were pushing in from arches, but for Oxy to be able to land those 2 shots and then get the third has just been really clean. Again, 11 and 4 for him. He's got blades online.
Yeah, but he doesn't even need it.
Yeah, and he's not going to need to invest much more than the Outlaw either. It's back on light armor for everyone on the side of MXS. Yep. You use that thing like a freaking shotgun.
Too easy. It's such a fast approach from MXS. They're really running it down right now on this attacking side, not really working the map. Even when they try to, they're getting picked off by that mid-walk, like you said.
Yeah, and this, I mean, this round may be a little different. We can kind of, well, that was not the intended.
Hold on. This might be one of his first times playing so well. Wait.
I thought he was going to do it.
I know
through all of this, it's still too well. There was an opportunity there for a very brief moment, but Odorous is just going to be outnumbered. Zeppelin with 3 on the round, and it's just another clean situation for Cloud9 off the backs of Oxy.
Yeah, and there was honestly, even at the end there was a follow-up Omen Flash from Vic who jumped down catwalk to mid that got all of lane. So even if there was a player with a rifle out there, he would have died anyways.
Yeah,
to Zeppa.
He was cooked.
Good protocols right now being shown from Cloud9. Good reactions. And they're doing a great job dealing with the aggression so far. This is something that they struggled with doing on Bind.
All right, how do you solve struggles on the attack side of Ascent here? MXS, I mean, something has to change.
I mean, this is one of those halves where you could even play a perfect round, pick the site where there's only 1 person there and still lose somehow.
He's going to ult into the smoke. He's TP'd backside into the smoke. Keep an eye on Mata back there as well. They fully closed the walls in, but the spike is sitting back in main. It was an excellent idea, an excellent setup, and it seemed like it may have slipped out of their hands, but they've managed to salvage the the situation at least for a little bit longer. Disaster avoided, and now an opportunity for MXS to get another round on the board. Fly will fall, yes.
One enemy remaining.
Everything crumbling for MXS.
Yeah, Vic did such a good job of just tucking back sight that entire time. It was such a good bait play from Cloud9.
The setup was great. They dropped the Omen smoke deep into the spawn. They TP jet paths all the way up mid, so they've got the site essentially enclosed in. The problem was they lost the spike on main.
Yeah, the problem was Oxy.
Yeah, again, it was Oxy, and that slows everything down, and then they're able to deal with Oxy, yes, but at that point, all of that time window's lost.
It's such a smart play of Duelist to take the fight into B main when they know they're getting split on like that.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, go back and just die for free? That's what happens most of the time.
Right.
You're going to get crunched. Taking control of all of B main there, getting one, that's great. Getting two, round over right there.
Yep.
And honestly, he didn't even have to peek in the fly if he didn't want to, but he's hot right now. He's just feeling it. And he's back on the Outlaw. Who would have thought?
There's a little bit of full armor on the side of MXS this round for Flya and Mata. But that doesn't negate the fact that there are 3 members there that are easy picking if given the opportunity.
Mata does get tagged by that drone from spawn. This should paint a picture for Flya of what the setup could be looking like. Most likely Sova and Killjoy towards the B, especially with this turret being found out by Odorous. Wants to do nothing about it though, doesn't break it. He will break it now, and that's why you're gonna see this A hit coming after that.
Is there a flash setup for this?
Yeah, but even if there is, I don't know if it can actually connect.
There's got to be something to protect this. As soon as he heard the molly go out, he knew pressure was coming. The paranoia goes out. He's going to be ahead of this. Oxy hits another filthy shot. And now Blades pop. Nice bit of HP, and he lands it as well. Knives looking to continue to take lives for Oxy, but he spammed through the smoke.
30 seconds left.
Whippy taking care of him, and now a 3v3. The spike's still not out onto the side as Brock has his ult online, but no real position to put it as Vic draws the line in the sand. Does not let them pass. The 10th for Cloud9.
And it's beautiful from both Oxy and Vic.
Last round.
I said it, later in the half, when they start going towards A, Vic will be able to show off his skills of anchoring. It's beautifully done. I mean, he makes it look easy. These Omen players, whether it's Bang, Superman, now Vic, he's gonna be in contention in the running. These players can just be devastating on that A site. A good idea, great paranoia, but Oxy, he was ahead of that as well. He already had the dash pre-popped. And now we're seeing an op out of Vic.
And a rifle back in the hands of Oxy.
He wants to get active.
Last round of the half. MXS looking to salvage this brutal start on Ascent.
And I'm not sure if Mata spotted Oxy here on the jump spot. But it won't matter. I think maybe they did. That's why they peeked him with 4.
That's what it takes this map. Clean them up.
They're lucky he didn't have an operator this time around. Zeppa again with the Odin. Sitting at 14 and 4. What a maniac. He's honestly looked like one of the best in the server on both maps.
Yeah, he really has. If nothing else, Zeppa has had an incredible series so far. A 4v4 here. You hear the ult used by Brock. Trying to get a tag. Does get a little bit of info onto Vic. He's going to try to push this here. There are 2 members waiting on the other side of this door. That deep smoke makes it so miserable to deal with. Spike now planted. And things slow down for a little bit on the other side of this lockdown.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for MXS. They're going to have to flood in if they want to get the second round in. Mata snags a kill on a Zeppa, though.
I mean, the smoke setup is so nice out from Vic. As soon as the lockdown goes down, there's another smoke they have to deal with. There are so many layers for MXF to have to try to trudge their way through. Cloud9 has already gotten the defuse to half. Spam coming through as Mata gets 3 on the round. Moose has to go up. And it's all into his death. A second round found for MXS.
I mean, I've seen a 10-2 comeback before, but that was G2 and International in Shanghai.
Don't worry, there are other ways to be used.
I don't know if MXS has it in them.
And we'll find out. A 10-2 half, the way of Cloud9, but they'll be the ones going to the defensive side. We'll see what happens. We'll be right back. Well, much like we saw in Bind, but on the other side of the coin, it was a stomp of the first half. But this, Dre, you could say this one was a bit more expected, again, given the map, given the side that we saw.
I don't even know if it was expected just because Cloud9 looked very, very bad on Bind, honestly. They did. They had some brightness on the attacking side, but their defense was abysmal. Now, this map, they have looked great. They're back, Doug. They're completely back in it. 10-2 is such an enormous lead to have. And if they can win the pistol round on attack, this might end here. Might be a 13-2 victory.
Yeah, this is probably the most pivotal pistol of the map. But death, taxes, comebacks on Ascent. So we'll see what we're in store for. You saw Mata trying to will the crowd back into this.
Oh my.
As Oxy is looking to will his team over to Sunset.
What just happened to Flya?
Oh, left, right, good night.
He just got obliterated.
18-8 for him.
That was insane. Now keep in mind, there is 2 trips here for Odorous. But I don't know if there's much he can really do here. With that cam being shown, there's surely a shock dart or something.
There's the first trip cleared. The second will tag. He's going to try to dash away. The spam not connecting, but Oxy does.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, Oxy's...
He's warmed up. He's here.
He's incapable of doing wrong on this map, it certainly seems like. But Brock, on the counter, 2 kills found. Paranoia at the ready. A little bit off the mark. Obviously unwise to that, as Moose is not able to settle. MXS is looking to push this thing back. It falls down to a 1v1. Mata against Vic. Vic 27 HP. Mata not much better off. And the spike has been ticking. Vic looking left, looking right, and spotting Mata. The pistol the way of Cloud9.
He's the A-site god right now. Vic, the 1v2. Played it so well. So aware of how much of his body was exposed, going left and right.
I mean, what do you do when you've got Oxy and Vic playing like this?
Nothing, you just lose. Look at that first blood onto Flya. Flya had no chance there. And yeah, Brock got a lineup kill, but this 1v2 from Vic, he played it to perfection. When the right click hits, am I right? So RNG sometimes.
Bit of an investment here from MXS, and reasonably so. Understanding there's presence on the other side, the counter spam will back him down for just a bit.
Oh, man.
Brock is being chased through.
Just no room to breathe.
No, Odorous is not safe. Brock was not safe. And this just feels so different from what MXS were able to do on the attack side. Oh, he just dashed into his face and died.
He blocked the dash?
That's the new tech, I guess.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, this is wraps. You called it. If the pistol doesn't go their way, we're looking at a 13-2. You may have been right.
Yes, might be the fastest map of the tournament. We'll have to keep track later on. Yeah, I know what you were going to say, buddy. This is only the second map of the tournament. Got
exactly
you.
What I was
Got you. No, but seriously, this could really be one of the fastest maps of the tournament.
I mean, they are low-key, like, speedrunning this.
Yeah. We'll have to keep track of it for sure. Oxy, what a performance on this map of Ascent. If this is what happens when you set him up with utility, what's the point of running a double duelist?
Oxy, Zeppa, Vic, we've talked about all 3 of them, and they've given us plenty of things to talk about. Can MXS delay this for a little bit longer? Whippy's getting 2 with the Bulldog, not able to connect onto the third. Again, a 2v2 this time. All on the hands of Vic. We talked about how good he's been. And he almost did it again, but Flya saves the day. Yeah, we'll play at least one more.
Yeah, he had a real chance right there.
And that was after the real messy first couple of shots on that first kill.
Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, if he gets that first kill a little bit quicker, he'll be more prepared for the wide swing of Flya there. Maybe have a little bit more health in the tank. That stinger, especially if you're low, it just shreds you. You're just done. You don't really have to stop when you're shooting that gun, so the peak looks insanely fast. But it still smiles from the side of MXS, even though they're getting mollywopped on this map of Ascent. Their pick.
I'm going to give you a mollywop counter. You're currently at 3.
Nice.
It's only been the second map.
Nice.
Mata's already dead. Odorous is 2. And this might be wraps.
Dare I say it for a 4th time?
No. You got to spread it out at least a little bit. Moose down to 11 HP. They're just getting rolled.
And a freeze to the round.
Yeah, ladies and gents, this might be curtains here on Ascent.
A great dart.
Brock able to get one, but still an advantage the way of Cloud9. It doesn't seem to be getting any smaller anytime soon.
Yeah, Vic was so ready for that swing from Flya, the containment. Whippy doesn't really have a choice. He has to even the numbers, but Zeppa's waiting for it as well.
The safety valve.
Yeah.
Just when you think you found a timing window, it's just another slap. 13, what was that, 13-3?
13-3.
The way of Cloud9. There was a little bit of fight, at least. I'm glad you're good, bro. There was at least a little bit of fight when it came to Bind, but that was just, I mean, from beginning to end. When you have that big of a deficit, Dre, going into half, forget about it, bro.
Yeah, and Oxy's showing why he's been a star duelist in VCT.
Yeah, I lost count of how many he dropped at the end there.
20, 24, 22, something of the sort. But it was extremely dominant from him. Entering into sight like a maniac. I mean, the solo pushes in mid with the Outlaw. I mean, he really farmed MXS this match.
He did. I mean, all three of them did. We talked about Oxy, we talked about Zeppa, we talked about Vic. They did whatever they wanted to MXS. We'll see if Sunset tells a different story. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the Red Bull home ground NA qualifier. Friends, we just got to witness murder, and it happened on this very stage. That was quite the beatdown.
911.
Yeah, someone call someone.
I've never heard someone so positive about murder.
You know, it depends on which side of the murder you're on. You know.
Many people are saying
Yeah,
that.
I would rather be on
That's my defense.
side than Moist's side from that last game.
Take. But I mean, that map was just night and day from Cloud9. They looked on point in that one. Their defensive side only dropped 2 rounds. It was lovely. I mean, the coordination was on point. The individuals were popping off. This was the Cloud9 that we were seeing at the beginning of this year when they were going on a roll in America.
And I mean, so unlucky, right? On a map like that, it's so snowbally, and it was so obvious that Moist Shopify, they had no answers. They just couldn't claw their way back in.
I mean, with C9 winning the early pistols, right, being able to convert as well, even in the second half, like MXS, they're just forced to go ahead and go for these forces, but there were multiple times that Oxy was able to go for the Outlaw because of how MXS was buying up into it, so he was getting huge value out of that purchase.
And let's be honest, I mean, this match for Oxy was LeBron versus the team of 6th graders. He was outstanding in this game. His stats were out of this world, and he was getting seemingly every first kill. He was ridiculously confident in taking the peaks, be it with the Outlaw, with his Sheriff, with an Operator. He was excellent.
They called me crazy when I said all C9 had to do was have Oxy show up. And he showed up.
I'm not going to even give you the credit for that. You said that at the beginning. It should be Oxy go kill. Yeah, sorry,
so
taking that one away from you. But yeah, I mean, this was the Oxy show. It really was. Like, Oxy on that jet looked so different than what we got to see from that Euro Unbind.
I think that this is a map that if you're MXS, you can kind of be like, okay, their jet had a ridiculous defensive side. That happens, it's Ascent. It happens pretty often. We got snowballed, we lost this one. But there are a lot of questions now about Sunset going into the 3rd map of this series, because we really don't have any idea what Cloud9 are going to play. And like we were talking about, so MXS struggled on this last year.
Yeah,
earlier this year, that is.
Yeah, this entire year, they are 1-5 currently, so 17% win rate. Doesn't bode too well.
No, that's usually a very low number.
Numbers, I understood.
and for C9 side, this is a map obviously we have not seen with the new team. I think there's a high chance that this is classic C9 fashion, the muddiest men playing Valorant here, getting down in the grind.
They are the men who invented the mud when it comes to Valorant.
Famously. The first ever mud men.
I'm learning so much today. Thank you so much. The
this is what we talk about in Americas all the time.
It's
a lot of
you love muddy men, Zoe.
I guess I too love muddy men. Say one thing about me, it's that I love that.
I've heard that.
But you know what? I love a good brawl. I like when it gets scrappy. I like when it just turns into a frag fest. And if it turns into that, I want Oxy on my team.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. My question is, you know, can he put up the similar numbers on a non-jet map, right? Because obviously he looked insane on that back on Ascent. And hopefully now, after getting game 1 out of the system, he'll be right back at the top.
And the question is also, what is he going to play? He's never really been known for a Raze player. She's pretty prolific on this map.
Look at him go!
An option as
Audit
well.
is so sick.
He's doing it. He's getting the crowd.
My new favorite player, like straight up. This guy is out here owning.
Look how charged up he is.
I love this.
He's been doing it all game.
He's Genki Damaing it up, all right? He's taking the energy from the crowd. I'm with this. That is a winning strat.
And the thing is, he was doing it while they were losing, too. It did not get to them. That's so important going into a map 3 now when you're playing a single elimination tournament.
Yeah, you gotta keep the mental high.
I absolutely agree. Now we get a look at what we've got here. Raze for Oxy and the Neon from Ada. I'm a big fan of the Neon comps on this map. It can be a little bit annoying to deal with stuff like the Cypher, but when you're running Sova next to it, the shock darts are so easily used to break those trips and allow Mata to go nuts. And when he was on bind, it was double satching into sight, flying on in there. I think he's certainly a guy to keep your eyes out for here in this map 3.
Yeah, I've always really liked these Breach Sova Neon comps on this map. I think that the amount of utility you have in the mid-round, especially on defense, to re-clear space is so big. Your retakes are good with the Breach stun, with Omen Paranoia, and Mata following that up. He does have to be great playing on that Neon, but he has so many tools to set him up for that success. On the other side for Cloud9, maybe looking a little bit more European with the KO in the mix. You get a lot, I think, better mid-round info with those cross-map knives. Not a lot of NA teams play it, but it's a really strong comp, and it's also a very strong agent for Mitch there.
Yeah, this one is coming down to the wire, really keeping us all on the edge of our seat. What what better way could we have started the day off here?
I don't think you could. You know, except double overtimes and Sentinels playing.
Yeah, but we do want to get home at the end of the day, so maybe not that. I think they're hitting the right balance.
Jersey on, you seem ready for it.
I'm just trying to chill, you know, that's all I'm here for.
That's right. Well, I'm excited for this one, maybe too excited even, so for emotional support and, of course, family-friendly entertainment. We're going to send it over to Doug and Baby Bay.
Families love them.
Welcome back to the Valorant News Network. We're coming to you live from Seattle, where... Dude, I didn't even get through the...
I couldn't do it, bro.
Forget it. I think there are lots of questions that have to... No, we've moved on. We've moved on. There are a lot of things we need to answer here. We saw Oxy on Jet, popped off. We saw Oxy not on Jet, did not pop off. But this is a map where you don't really have the luxury of playing a Jet. I do like what they're playing around the Raze, though. They've got the breach to set them up quite well.
Yeah, I will say it is a little bit different, though, because Mitch coming into this team, he's used to playing KO on this map, which is good for him, but is the team of Cloud9 used to playing with a breach KO? That is the question that we're going to find out when things go together here. And Mata, we've seen how dominant he could be on pretty much every single duelist in the league. I don't think he plays much Yoru, but his Neon is fantastic. And a good Neon on a map like Sunset can be so oppressive to play against.
Still a little pressed that he stole my thunder with the solo clap, but...
Yeah, that was crazy, by the way.
I'll talk to him about that later. Cloud9 on the attack side, a heavy lean towards the middle of the map so far. 4 in tandem. Meanwhile, you've got one little Zeppa playing back towards B by himself.
Oxy's already all the way up in market.
That flash was so deep. There's a lot for Odorous to have to deal with here. He's trying to tuck into the cage. Swinging around on the other, can't settle the shots. Oxy gets the best of him, and again, it was off of the breach utility, but Brock on the counter. Numbers the way of MXS, at least for now. Mitch is so weak. Brock isn't much better off. He will fall. As just as quickly, the swing back, the way of the attack. Cloud9 in a comfortable position here. Whippy's left it alone in a 1v3, but they're also weak. And Whippy's dead. That's 3 for Oxy, and the pistol for Cloud9.
It was a blistering pace from the side of Cloud9, getting into market like that, and they dealt with so much. A breach stun, the trip hitting somebody. I mean, Odorous almost got a spam kill through the wall in market right there, but it just wasn't enough. And then Oxy somehow sitting at 20 HP, got 2 more kills on the board.
I mean, when it works, it works. And it worked for him there.
It was very decisive thinking from Cloud9. Very convinced that they wanted to go mid to B from the start of the round. The power of the Neon is you can default an A, you can default B, and then rotate all the way back in time. But that's not going to work if a team just 5-mans one of the sites. Flya. He's alone in top mid. Gets some info that someone's spamming. Doesn't know who it is, though. Mata, he's all the way in elbow with the Bucky.
Yeah, good luck dealing with that.
Yeah, Bucky Neon. Something we've seen Jogamo actually dominate everybody with, whether it be ranked VCT players, international stage.
Yeah, he's been a source of a lot of conversation recently, hasn't he?
He's so nasty.
Just one pistol on the side of Cloud9, a very slow approach to this round.
And a smoke top right mid as well to deny any info.
But I think also to suggest that there would be a split coming through mid up towards B. Obviously not the case, but it's enough to keep somebody there from the defense, and it was Flya and it was Brock there who were having to watch it.
Oh. I am the crowd. But Moose will take out Odorous.
We're all fans at the end of the day, huh?
Yeah. That was a vicious timing.
30 seconds left.
And that's a free B site for Cloud9. They did a really good job.
And I mean, a free round, too.
Yeah.
MXS not even really interested in trying to rotate over. They have 2 ways they can play this. They can just wait to die to the spike. They can try to maybe get a couple of weapons out of their hands, so it's not so tough into the next.
And the thought process for MXS to stack A site, it actually made sense.
Yeah,
there was a smoke top right of mid. Now, Brock, he had checked it from the left side of mid, so he knows that it's all feint, it's all BS. And that caused the heavy lean to A. Most of the time when you feint that you're going somewhere, it's probably likely you're going to go towards that A site in that case with the top right smoke. But Cloud9, they read into that. And with that pick that Moose acquired in B main, why not just keep going up as a human drone? Oxy's going to fall to the spike here.
Nobody? Well,
Not
it wasn't it wasn't to the spike,
but they don't die!
I don't know.
That's disaster! Their money is... It's so bad right now.
That might be the most significant replay we'll ever get if we can see that again.
When the spike explodes, you got to jump into it right away. You can't be chasing it once it...
Yeah, you ain't going to catch it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, no. A big blunder. And look at what they have to deal with, light armor and sheriffs.
That's tough. That was not the plan.
That is brutal. It's just, it should be another free round for Cloud9. And they know Cypher doesn't have enough utility to hold a 5-man.
And so that's exactly what they're going to dial up. The thing is, it's a 5-man on the other side, but you're right, it's just the sheriffs. Bucky too, sure. Mod is able to deal a little bit of damage, but not enough. And so you're right, it's another free round for Cloud9. That's tough, man.
I've never seen that.
I don't think I have either.
In all my years of playing, casting Valorant, I've never seen that. It's so unfortunate for them. That's a tilter is what it is. How do you get out of that?
You laugh about it and you move on. Because that's all you can do. Now they're going to have guns. Still light armor on 2 members. But full util.
Mm-hmm. And they're opting to separate the breach and the neon, MXSR.
What's the reason for that?
It's going to be a 2-pronged approach. You're basically most of the time when you see a neon, you think it's going to be a breach setting him up. Sure. Now this opens up an opportunity for a trap either way.
A little bit of misdirection.
Mm-hmm. And that dagger, it only scanned the Cypher. Mata using the stun, trying to catch somebody out.
And Fly has used the stun on the other side, so they understand that they're split, at least for now.
Mm-hmm. They're reading into that this B side might be pretty weak. Usually when teams start a neon B, they play heavy in the beginning and then in the mid round, go back to mid and get a pick on Vic.
Yeah, he just overstayed his welcome.
Yeah. Very interesting spot for an Omen to be at. Because even if you TP, the lines of TP, you can't really get out of dodge there.
No, not just by a TP, you're right. Odor is spotting Midge. They have found the tiniest of slivers in the defense. And that's enough to crack the round wide open. MXS are on the board.
Yeah. Early B main pressure. Going back to re-clear all of mid. They catch out Vic. All of a sudden, there's no smokes to do the actual sight hit. That opens up the opportunity for Odorous to just slowly weasel his way into the site and just get free kills across the board. Oxy does have a showstopper online, though. Might be able to cook with it. Here's that re-clear in mid. Yeah, like even if you try to TP, there's nowhere you can really go. So usually you see a Cypher there with a camera. At least he can use cages for himself. Maybe he could find a way to survive, but here's that rocket I was talking about.
He had 2 options to go from. Picks Whippy, unfortunate for him. But again, the kill is traded right back.
The equalizer in mid. Moose going a little bit too early there, trying to cut the rotation.
Now they've got the Cypher ult that they're going to have to deal with. Mata on the swing out. Going really aggressive, going really fast. Fly cleans it up. 3 on the round as MSX get their second.
Very fast. Fly to set him up with the flash there. I know what that's like. He used to be my old teammate setting me up all the time. Gives you such a great sense of security. Especially as the main duelist that needs to take these first engagements a lot of the time.
Well, I mean, into even the beginning of the round, you talked about how fast that was and how decisive that was at the end, but it was bookended. I mean, as soon as the barriers went down, the fault line was out, the rocket was popped.
It was a great choice of selection for who Oxy decided to rocket in that moment, because you're right. Yeah. A lot of raises would usually just shoot the person on the left instantly.
Yep. The first target you see.
The poise to just flick to the right and actually take out somebody.
Oh, trigger discipline.
It's great. And you have to do that with the rocket, honestly.
Yep.
Drone sees everybody in mid.
This has all of the makings of another split towards B.
The trip has not been dealt with yet, though.
Yeah. That one-way smoke, they're going to have to wait that out.
And if they want to walk into B main, there's a camera that can see a little bit of a sliver. That's going to pull Mata to use his neon stun and just slide in, try to kill as many as he can.
Or just
he just wants to get the info, and now it's going to be a rotation towards A. That's why you see Cloud9 already doubling back.
Still a lot of mid presence here. Oxy continuing to deliver. Mod is on the prowl.
He's trying to find the equalizer.
That's such a tight window to try to trade back, too. Very well done. They've invested the Rolling Thunder. It's going to tag 2, maybe 3. But there's really not a ton to fill in behind it.
Wow, great patience.
And the paranoia is coming out as well. They haven't fully committed out onto this, but now they go, and that's as decisive as you'll ever see. A flawless round for Cloud9.
What great patience from Cloud9, Oxy. I mean, normally he would want to just swing it, but to just sit in that little off angle and wait for the Omen flash from Vic to come out, and then take all the space. These are good signs for Cloud9. Already in the off season. Oxy, he's cooking right now.
8-3 so far. Moose has his ult online, and Mitch is one away from his. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, you might see a very spread default from the side of Cloud9. Have somebody work and try to get a pick. You'll be able to use that Cypher ultimate on it. Make your decision from that point on in the mid round.
There's a little bit of space being taken here from Mata.
Yeah, this is a great off angle. We've seen a lot of good Neon players hold.
They should have a decent idea of what's going on here. Moose had a cam up, I believe. And so they should know.
It's all a bait.
Mitch has to be careful on the swing. Deals a lot of damage onto the Neon.
Ah, he almost took him out. Oh, that's the pick that C9 were looking for. This nade is going to get another kill. I say that, but Oxy just decides to press mouse 1.
Dark getting a little bit of info. Brock trying to swing things back the way of MXS. Off of the paranoia. There's going to be a late lurk out for Moose, too. Can they find enough space before he gets away? I think the pinch on that was perfect. But now Moose has to be careful. They're spamming through the cage. He swings out and gets Brock. Now Fly waiting on the other side. As the second tick of the ult pops, Fly realizes this round is lost.
Oh, a great wide swing, though. But yeah, the round is basically done. Getting an ult orb is the only thing he could basically ask for at this point. And saving the gun, but that fault line.
No.
He was gonna do it.
Yeah, he was. He was thinking about it.
Yeah, the quick look around from Fly has saved him there. From getting humiliated on stage.
But again, a great round. That's now 5 the way of Cloud9, 2 in a row.
And the late lurk from Moose, it was perfectly timed. I mean, both players that were trying to set up for that retake had to go back and deal with him. And the fact that he gets another one just finessing around his Cypher cage. I feel like this is something that sets apart a lot of Cypher players, is how you can work around your cages.
Using those tiny little windows to your advantage, you're right.
And there's a tiny room for error in those moments, too. So it's very impressive when you can pull it off.
If they get this orb into Oxy's hands, they're going to have Mitch's ult and his. There's a lot of pop behind this if they can get it. He's not really even interested in the orb, or at least an early clear, and then they can reset.
So smart.
Moose is up really far towards mid, too. They have a couple of options, but I like this. You're right, they didn't force anything. They slowed it down. This is very intelligent.
Yeah, they're playing to win right now on this map of Sunset. I don't know if the Bucky can one-shot from this range. If it can, it's very impressive, but...
About to find out. Oh, easy, there's a whole lot back there. But Brock over the top. Got a tag on Oxy. Can he get a second kill? Yes, he can. A massive part of the threat of this round is now gone. But there's still a lot for MXS to deal with. They don't really have the guns.
Yeah. Not a lot of time, though. Good breach clear on default box. Whoa. A lot of ults invested.
That's a big 30 seconds left. That's going to buy a fair amount of time if they try to fill in behind it. Zeppa stunned, still gets a kill on Mata. With Moose over the top as well, a 2v2, they are going to get the spike down.
Whoa.
Cage triggered.
What a risky fight to take from Moose.
And it worked out his way, but... I mean, Odorous has a lot to deal with here. A 1v2 Moose is very weak. Odorous, no armor.
Oh, now they know where he's coming from.
He's going to get them both, isn't he? That's the weak one, but there's no way he expected the other there.
The bait for Zeppa.
Yeah, very nicely done. Saves the round for Cloud9 as they get to 6.
And what's so rough about that last round for MXS is the ultimates they invested into it.
I wanted to talk about Fly's ult there.
I mean, the numbers were even. It kind of makes sense because you think you have a chance. And honestly, nothing really has been working for you on this defensive side so far. You have, what, 2 rounds?
Yeah.
It's 2 to 6. So it makes sense, like you want to make a heroic play, but now it's going to be really, really tough to come back into this game.
And again, I mean, if Xeppaa doesn't get a kill while stunned, I mean, things don't really end up the way they did. It'd be numbers away of MXS instead of even, so, I mean...
Cosmetic ult.
Yeah. Op in the hands of Mata. Almost gets a target. Cloud9 again in this 4-1, or in this case, a 1-4. Make a lot of presence, make a lot of noise, while controlling the middle of the map.
Cloud9, yeah, they don't have a Sova or a Fade to get info, but they're using that dagger very smart, taking tiny ounces of, or tiny inches of space, right, on the map.
Yeah.
They get Vic deposited in elbow off of that one knife.
And what's Moose's job here? What's he trying to do?
He just needs to live, get info, maybe try to cut a rotation. He gets the info that there's an Opera in mid.
And meanwhile, Mata's rotating back towards B with the op. And that's the weak site. Oxy satchelating forward. That one-way makes things really difficult. Fires it blind, doesn't connect. But they've got the site.
Yeah, it's just for free. Now you have the KO ultimate as well for the post-plant.
Yep.
He's going to pop it any time now. So the util can't come out on the flood. There it is.
There it is. And now he's got a flash he can deal with as well. Brock getting 2 through the spam, through the smoke. A chance to bring this thing back if they can navigate the threat on the other side. And the threat is Xeppaa. With Oxy over his shoulder, 3 kills found. Brock on his own with utility in his hand. That's not the fight he's looking for. Cloud9 gets a 7.
And Doc, I don't know what Xeppaa's been doing in this offseason, but he is in peak Xeppaa form right now.
Like DMing 16 hours a day.
Look at the way he's aiming. He's so snappy with it.
And I mean, you've mentioned that a couple of times. We saw it on Bind, we've seen it on Ascent, now here on Sunset.
He looks phenomenal.
You see the attempt
Great utility, yeah.
Yeah, you see the attempt at the retake again. Brock getting 2 massive kills. And then from that point forward, it was this Xeppaa show.
A 1v3 in screens over there.
Yeah.
Craziness in the server for this man right now. And again, the dagger to get somebody deposited.
They're going fast again.
Oh.
And again, it's Oxy.
I know exactly where.
If they can find safe passage out, maybe there's a shot at this. Moose will not let one pass.
Brutal.
5 bullets left, the spam coming through. And Cloud9 are poised to get another one here.
Yeah, when you're playing the Neon and the Breach, sometimes it could be a little bit too obvious of what your plays are. You can really read into it.
Which normally isn't a problem because you have speed at your side.
It just looks like Cloud9 are too ready. They're too prepared on this map specifically.
And Oxy's also... Yeah, Oxy's, I mean, yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
He's as back as he was missing on map 1.
Yeah. I really do think a lot of Oxy's, performance on map 1 has to do with the fact that he was the secondary duelist.
Yeah, sure.
And he's basically using his flashes to set up Xeppaa in that moment, which, by the way, Xeppaa played great on Rage. Don't get me wrong. But the recipe for success for this Cloud9 roster is most definitely setting up Oxy for success.
And it's worked. 14-5 right now. Cloud9 have won 5 rounds in a row. Mata, that's a kill that you see Mata get. More often than not, but doesn't connect here. Meanwhile, split towards B. There's a lot here. Odorous is here. You've got the Rolling Thunder. But Mitch, dude, if it's not Oxy, if it's not Xeppaa, it's everybody from Cloud9 has shown up at some point in this map. Or in this series, excuse me.
Mitch looks so comfortable on the KO on both maps so far. His utility has been amazing.
This is the bathrobe Mitch.
Yep. Yeah. Bringing it back.
That's it, yeah, it's a deep cut. Fly almost connecting onto the second. But a 2v2 now. Xeppaa again in a great position, and Mitch is there close by the turn of the flash, and it was a little bit self-inflicted.
Yeah, it was actually Fly that flashed himself.
Yep, that's tough. Can Whippy 1v2, 10 HP. Throwing a little bit of a shoulder, showing a little bit of leg. But Mitch takes a step back.
Wow.
Wisely not forcing the fight. Now off the smoke. There's the tap. He's got to be careful to Vandal on the other side, but again, just 1 bullet is all it takes. Mitch gets 4, Cloud9 gets 9, and it's another stomp.
What a round from Mitch, getting the trades off of Oxy dying early there, and then playing the 1v1 perfectly.
Yeah,
honestly.
didn't force the fight.
Yeah.
Takes a step back into main. It was pretty.
Held the angle for long enough to buy time for him to back up. Understanding that he's probably safe now. He's not going to get swung. And Whippy, there's not much he can do there. He kind of just has to get on the spike, hope that he can, stick it in that moment, not get spammed, but he's already 1 HP.
Well, and not only that, the way it was planned, it means there's only one side of the spike you can be on because it was up against the wall. So you take away some of those different possibilities. Modest popped his ult right off the bat. Again, trying to force a play, trying to make something happen. You talked about how these neon hits can be telegraphed. It might not matter here. There's a lot waiting on the other side, though. What sort of utility is there to help? Rock will fall, Fly will too. And Mata has to take a step back.
Jeez.
They've corralled them into spawn, but they don't really have anything to go off of anymore.
That's the crazy thing, though, is C9, they were in spawn from the start of the round, waiting for an aggressive push. The initial fights of MXS haven't been fruitful at all because Cloud9 have been playing way off the barrier.
Yeah.
And if they do have somebody playing up, it's Moose who can pop a cage down, jump out away, and then everybody from spawn comes flooding to support.
I mean, you can almost hear what the plan was. Hey, they have a neon and a breach on defense. Let's just play back.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how this has gone.
They just bide their time, wait for players to walk into their crosshair, do reclears as a team. It's looked so good for Cloud9. A very impressive showing on the last 2 maps,
30
honestly.
seconds left.
I know exactly.
Now they've got the neural theft. Oxy, patient with it. A snap on Namada will clean him up.
There's so many layers to the approach of Cloud9 on their attacking side, starting from spawn and just venturing out.
And it was all, yeah, you're right. It was just to take that early step back, absorb some of that pressure, and then go.
Get the trades. Fick gets the breach that's trying to support Mata to get out. Oxy can walk all the way up into B main on the left side. Now the neural theft goes out.
Cam cleared. Whippy again in a 1v3, but there is one behind him. Oxy, 8, Cloud9 gets to 10. It's a brutal half.
Deja vu. Deja vu from the last map. From Ascent to now Sunset.
There's just very little that MXS have been able to do since the very first map. This is, again, very reminiscent of what we saw on map 2, a 10-2 half the way of Cloud9, a quick break, and then the conclusion of Sunset. We'll be right back. Cloud9 have stopped MXS. They've slapped them around. They've really just been able to obliterate them. That's 4 in one series. That's way too many.
Whopped them. smack them around, whatever you want to say.
Do you think we can get a little like lower third counter?
Yeah, we should.
We should.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm kind of mad at myself for giving you this, because now you're gonna force it.
I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I apologize.
Nah,
to the production staff. Is entirely my doing. Cloud9, again, have really obliterated MXS, and you could maybe chalk up Ascent to, okay, it's a defensive side of Ascent, you know, this, that, and the other, but this has not been the case on Sunset. This has just been utter obliteration.
Yeah, a complete outplay, honestly. The game plan from this attacking side, maybe that has a lot to do with Mitch stepping in right now, who's had a lot of experience playing against MXS this whole, you know, this whole year pretty much.
Yeah.
Mind, he was on Oxygen playing in Tier 2 against them a lot. So comfortability. Just understanding how MXS like to approach this map with this composition.
You saw the timeline before the round started. It really kind of tells the entire story.
Yeah.
MXS now on the attacking side. You imagine there's going to be a lot of aggression, again, given that they have the Neon Breach set up with Brock on the Sova. But if Oxy's able to stifle a lot of that aggression right off the bat, you don't really get to leave the starting blocks.
Yeah, and even if Orderus gets that first kill, there was 2 more players waiting for him. Now it's the Flood from Cloud9.
He was in a really nice spot there.
Last player standing.
It's all fallen on to Whippy with his 6 HP. Cannot convert, cannot find any success. That's another round for Cloud9, and that very well may be the series.
Yeah, MXS have to force into this round. And I'm sure Cloud9 are going to be aware of it and probably play a little bit more back.
Yep. As we saw them do on the attack side.
Yeah. Maybe you could take a main space just because you have your own breach and a raise nade if you want. It's pretty safe to say that you can take that type of space, but they'll probably end up backing off after the util is used from MXS to re-clear that.
I mean, this has been a case study on how to deal with the Neon Breach
Literally.
setup on Sunset. Yeah.
Literally. And here it is. Look at how far back the members are in elbow.
Yeah. And that doesn't connect the first time, but it does the second. But again, it's Oxy with the response. And just as quickly as the round has started, it's over. It's all on Namada. Oxy tees off on MXS as Cloud9 gets a series point.
And Vic was still in the back there the whole time if Oxy had gone down. They're so ready for it. Mata, he's clearly having some fun with it, and I don't blame him. It is an off-season event. Trying to make that Bucky work. Trying to style on him. To be fair, that kill looked pretty good on the Zeppa. Or was it Mitch? I don't know. Who knows? Now we got 3 Buckies on the board.
What could possibly go wrong?
They heard me. They don't want 3.
Again, aggressive towards A. As soon as that wall goes up, he can drop the fault line and delay the hit. And off the smoke as it goes down, Oxy gets another. That was almost identical to what we saw in the previous round. Vic on the swing, 7 bullets left, doesn't realize there's another. That's a consolation gift, I guess.
The Bucky.
A moral victory.
Yeah.
They found my wire. No more charges.
The jumping Bucky through elbow.
I mean, there's still a chance for them to win this. It was outnumbered, but Moose might do this on his own. 9 bullets left. 77 HP. Off the swing, and Flya bests him. MXS gets the 3.
The pixel angle for Flya after upgrading with that Bucky kill.
Only on land.
Sick shot.
Yeah, only on land.
Yeah, it keeps him into it, but you know. Let's keep it a buck here. This is tough.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take a miraculous comeback. The reaction time.
Enhance.
That was a nice replay right there.
Well, look at
W production.
Yeah, look at us, huh?
That was cold.
MXS have at least broken the streak. There's still so much work to be done.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
I saw the scoreboard. Oxy sitting at 22 kills. It's absurd. It's almost 2 kills per round that he's netting his team. A deposit into B main. Whoopi will be there. Motorist working up mid. Do they really want to mess with Oxy here?
I don't know that anybody should be trying to mess with Oxy, but they're going to have to deal with him. The wall goes up. Oxy tries getting away. Satchels to safety. Mata is on the hunt, and you just do not chase Oxy down.
Wow. Obliterated. Decimated. Destroyed.
MXS have found an advantage again for 2 rounds in a row here, and this one seems a lot more comfortable to be able to put away. The previous one down to a 1v1, but this time, I don't know how Vic even really gets in.
But you might as well go for it. You have such a buffer.
Yeah, sure.
12-3. I mean, if you pull off the 1v3, everyone thinks you're the best player in the world.
Right. Are you playing? Are you playing for the clip, or are you playing for the win?
Yeah.
Me, in this case, I play for the clip.
And you got the first.
And he might just hit it. A tap. Shock dart not connecting. The paranoia is going to make things so much more difficult, though.
Counter
He's got one
paranoia.
of his own. Hoping that it didn't sound. He's gotten a tap. He's going to do it, isn't he?
No.
He's going to do it, isn't he? He's off of it. Whip. He has to swing! And Vic hits the clip to send MXS done. What a finish for Cloud9. That was filth.
We were memeing about it, but he made it a reality. What a beast.
I just looked over and Ludwig had head in hands. He's unwell. And I don't blame him after that.
Unlucky, bro. Unlucky.
What a finish for Cloud9, man.
Yeah, that was a stomping the last 2 maps. Very convincing.
Bind a distant memory. And what a statement of a finish for Vic. That was ridiculous. I guess you can go for the clip and the win.
Yeah.